Yo, yo, yo. Check, check, check. Mic check 1, 2. Welcome, YouTube. It's another one. Episode 15, I believe. And we're not messing around today. We're not doing any of the jibber jabber beforehand. We are going to just jump straight in to the first show of the episode, our first show in November. We're almost at the end of year 2, which I didn't even realise before, which is pretty crazy. And it's already I've already done the booking, so we're jumping straight into the show. Just so the episodes are a bit shorter, we'll see how this goes going forward. But this episode, I think, is definitely going to be the one we piss off Wicked Lester and Zombie Boy, because, as I mentioned last episode, they have horrible chemistry teaming together, so they're kind of useless. They both have very good pop compared to everyone else in the promotion, especially Zombie Boy, but I don't really want to keep them as like single competitors, so I need to slowly phase them out in this episode. I say slowly phase them out, but it's going to be probably rather ruthless and very quick until they are pissed off to the point they hate my guts. So yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun starting with this show. I'm going to piss them both off big time. But we open up with Mutant 50 rated. This segment was more of like a filler in terms of I wanted to see how good Mutant did with a script, because of course he got the penalty when it wasn't when he went off script, which is usually the default I use. I let them just sort of go wild, but it's not really working for Mutant before. But this is pretty good. 50 rating to start us off. I need to also remember not aim too high. You know, a 50 rated segment or even match is huge still for us. Our current sort of stance in the game world. So gets the show off to a strong start. Mutant is I almost said debuting. He is essentially just hyping up the crowd. He's also main eventing tonight, which is another reason he's up against Zombie Boy. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully it can carry us to a pretty decent rating. Then we get a 40. This one is more of a squash. Not quite, but more pretty much. The local boy, Keith Vegas, comes in and he basically gets dominated for about 6.5 minutes by Hangman till Hangman gets the win. I see Hangman and Blue Dragon still have pretty decent momentum going for them through the whole Founding Father storyline and obviously helping dethrone Architect. So, pretty straightforward win for Hangman. Our first match of the night gets a 40, which is pretty solid. Hangman gets a 50, even with seemingly off his game, which is very good. I feel like at this level, for us, anything over a 50 is like very good, and then if it's over a 60, that's like when you really gotta keep your eye on those guys to push us forward. Then though, we move in to a bit of a filler match, and it's Blue Dragon beating Marco again, similar to the Hangman situation. Blue Dragon, of course, helped. He was one of the main guys in dethroning Architect, so we want to keep his momentum going well. He beats Marco with a Dragon Driver. A 42 has to be, I would say, as to be expected. Hangman kind of carried the last match, but they both have great chemistry, which is good to know. It would be much better if we had this with our tag teams, but it's not to be so far. But pretty decent though. Blue Dragon, I believe, on paper, he's actually pretty good. Like, he isn't that bad. I've not really booked him hugely over or very strong since we brought him in, but I feel like if we gave him a push, he would actually, his in ring would get much better. He's got the capabilities in the tank anyway. But 42, very good. Then we move into okay, we got a 29 segment rating, which I feel like this is my fault. It's a poor 5-minute angle. It took place backstage. Architect cutting a promo. Essentially, this was again like last month. Architect is kind of not really secretly, but he's sort of talking very passionately, you could say, to the tag team, the past masters, Sandman and Winx, and the Historian. But you can't really it seems almost like they're planning something to that effect. There's a lot of nodding going on, a lot of agreeing, but you can't quite work out what they're saying. Architect obviously hasn't fought yet since he lost his belt, and he's not really came forward to mention anything about getting his belt back, or and knowing Architect, he's a very malicious, very much a backstabber, does anything to win, doesn't play by the rules. So it's almost a bit of a surprise. Up until now, he hasn't really done anything to Papa Swole or Hangman or Blue Dragon. It almost seems like he's letting it slide. But I think because I gave them a non-speaking appearance, they're essentially being rated, even though they're not doing anything. So I kind of get it. This is on me. I think this is why it's a 29. Otherwise, it would have been much higher, because Architect performed well going off script. So that's a bit of a yikes. Also, quickly to mention, actually, I never even realised at the time, but last episode, our last show we did was actually our highest rated show we've ever done. And I don't even know how I missed it or didn't click on. I guess because I haven't played in so long is the main reason why I didn't notice. But yeah, pretty sort of anticlimactic, but it's good signs that we're moving on, moving up. Oh, this is pretty good actually. Tag match here. After the chat, of course, with Architect backstage, the past masters, they do cheat. It says, what the hell? Hold on. It says here that Dr. Funkenstein was disqualified. Okay, that's not. I think I gave them like a cheap win or a tainted win. I think it was cheap. So I don't know why it's went to that. But anyway, yeah, they basically cheat, as expected. It seems like they have something going on with Architect, and they come out here in any means necessary to get the job done. Pretty solid ratings too, 47-41. Dr. Funk is a 37. Stevie again, he's not having much luck since he debuted. He hits a 42. 48 overall though, I'll take it, that's pretty good. Then we move in to Miller Ford, the Mid-Atlantic Wrestling main man himself. Pretty decent, 49 rated match. He gets the win over Wicked Lester. Wicked Lester, of course, was not happy about this. Sort of big name wise, this is a big win for Millerford, especially in this game area. Wicked Lester's much more well known than him, so you could say it's a big upset that he wins. A Ford flip face crusher, that sounds like an absolutely devastating finishing move. Both get a 45 though. Pretty good all round. Huge win for Miller. And then speaking of huge win, arguably the biggest win of his career, Mutant, in a superb match, defeats Zombie Boy with a Tina Turner 57 rated match, best rated match of the show, which is good. We did, of course, put a creative finish on this, which was a success. Mutant benefits from having a hot new move and pulls in a 53. And as you can imagine, Zombie Boy was not happy to be going over. So I'm sure him and Wicked Lester will be. They'll have a lot to say, basically. Zombie Boy was already angry because I think when we first used him months ago, he lost. I can't remember who to. I think it was in the tournament, and he was pissed, and he's still pissed about it. So he's going to be even more pissed now. But huge, absolutely massive, massive, massive win for Mutant, giving him big momentum, pushing him up. 53 rated. Oh shit, I'm an idiot. Of course, with no Papa Swole on the show. I messed up here with our storyline. I really need to get a grip with that. I'm being a little bit sort of like I'm stepping on eggshells a little bit when it comes to the booking at the minute with using people and not using them. I need to stop overthinking it so much, especially at this level when there isn't much storylines or intricate, I can't say that word, intricate, there we go, sort of moments intertwining within the promotion. I don't need to, just gotta brute force it. But 50 rated show, pretty solid. Mutant carried this pretty well. Even with his promo, he got a 50. And in the 57 match, the top 2 rated angles of the whole night. So this is huge because we didn't use in a match. People like Logan, we didn't use Davis, we didn't use Architect, we didn't use Papa Swole. And a 50 rated is like solid 203 people. Like, this just shows that we have a lot of really good guys on the roster. Even if there's a certain group that seem to get much more of the spotlight than others. This is good to know. 2 huge wins from Miller and Mutant as well. So this is good. Good show for sure. Okay, here we go. Kickoff Carnage 29. We are ready to rumble. I'm pretty sure 216 people is a new record. Just took a nice little jump up. We're making quite a decent little chunk extra, a couple $100 on our ticket sales since hitting tiny size, so every little helps. We actually start the show off very strong here. We have a new face in the promotion. Sasquatch McGraw makes his debut defeating Wicked Lester in under 6 minutes. He basically dominates the whole fight, which is Sasquatch is not very known in the Great Lakes, but he's got a little bit of pop. He's not totally unknown, and he's kind of hard to forget because he stands at 6'11", which is I mean, it's like over a whole foot and some more bigger than me. I feel like we're starting to build a basketball team instead of a wrestling promotion. We have so many people on our roster that's at least 6'5" and above. It's insane. I obviously get a lot of wrestlers are big, like big guys, but this is like insane. We have Sasquatch, we have Hangman, we got Papa Swole, Mutant, Dr. Funkenstein, Logan Willsbane. There's probably more too, I'm forgetting, but they're like straight, they come to my mind straight away. But this is actually very good. He actually got a much higher in-ring performance than I was expecting, 44. The only downside to this is he got a poor rating on his Sasquatch gimmick, which is pretty hilarious considering his whole thing is like around his name and the fact he's so tall, but his gimmick gets a poor rating. Not really much we can do with that. It's just our luck these days. But he starts the show off strong with Wicked Lester. He is on his way out. Let's be realistic. It's we're being a little bit gamey with Wicked Lester and Zomboy right now. Which, by the way, Zomboy handed in his notice after last show, so he's leaving in 30 days. Pretty much this is his last. I think this will be he's on this card, and it'll be his last. Maybe one more if we manage to book it very early in December, but probably not. It's not really something I want to do. Not to the point where people are leaving like really, really angry at us. Like it's a bit, maybe not gamey is the right word. I don't know how to, it's just a bit cheap. It's like a cheap way to play to like quickly boost your guys. It's not really, obviously you can do what you want. You don't have to, everyone can play how they want to, but it's not really something I like doing, or at least like doing it a lot. But it's a huge debut win for Sasquatch against Wicked Lester, who is much more over than him. So he's essentially rubbing off him here. Big win, 37. You know what, I'll take it. A 44 for his debut is really good. So we have a new face, another giant to add to the ranks within our promotion. Penalised for losing to Gimmicky. Okay, we don't have to worry about that. That's even better. Then we move into a two-part segment, which overall gets a 64, gets the crowd hotter. We basically have Papa Swole backstage being interviewed. He's basically being asked, we have rumour, you're, of course, defending your belt tonight. And then before he has a chance to really say much, the Architect comes out of nowhere. It's also the first time we've really seen the Architect since he lost his belt, and it's definitely the first time these two have came face to face since then. Papa Swole almost looks kind of shocked, whereas the Architect looks, he's smiling, he's super calm, collected, which is kind of a surprise because after everything that happened to him, with, of course, Hangman and Blue Dragon all coming to Papa Swole's aid to get the belt off him. And he basically just wishes Papa Swole the best of luck for his match tonight, as he heard he's facing a champion from another promotion. So he kind of just, slaps him on the shoulder, gives him a wink and moves on. And Papa Swole just kind of looks a little bit bemused. But solid rating here. This is really good, 64. We'll move on from this. Yeah, I think I've actually started putting the notes in the actual box, which is something I never do, but I need to start doing it because it'll be good for later down the line if we come back, or if I personally come back to look at shows, I can sort of differentiate what's what and what's been going on, which will be quite cool, I think. But anyway, yes, very good opening segment as we move into match number 2. And similar to the Wicked Leicester situation, it's it's just a little bit of a one-sided smash and pass, basically. Zombie Boy and Wicked Leicester, as I like to say, the term I like to use is the Hoover. And there's no difference here. Hangman hits us with a 50, finishes off Zombie Boy with a choke slam in under 10 minutes. Huge win for Hangman in theory. Of course, Zombie Boy lost I almost said last week, but we're not doing weekly events. Sam, come on, head in the game. He lost last show, I believe it was to Mutant, which was in those terms huge to boost up Mutant, and it's the same here. It's huge to boost up Hangman. So pretty solid, 49. Obviously much, much better than what we're expected to do. Then we move into a huge 71, no way. Dr. Funkenstein makes, basically it's just a over the top entrance with him sort of interacting with the crowd. You know, he's a bit of a party guy, so his music's blaring, he's dancing around, just, you know, being a bit of a goofy boy. And he actually pulls in a 71, which is massive, considering Doctor isn't really over, and his momentum is pretty poo, to be honest. He pulls in a 71, which is the highest rated segment we've ever gotten. Which, yeah, that's wild. It just shows you how good he is. As much as something I need to know, obviously, like I'm just trying to, I say it over and over again. I'm just like focusing on little baby steps, taking it a little bit of a time, not doing too much over the top stuff. Because I actually already have all our events named and the purpose of them planned out. I have graphics for all of them, but obviously it's just not being implemented yet. But we also have so many workers who are under like 30 years old who could all be like so good. There's like Sandman Winks, who looks really good. Doctor obviously looks really good. There's like we really do, on average, the average age of our roster is it's really not old at all. And Doctor fits the bill on that one. He's, as much as we're not really using him much now, I don't want you guys to think, in case you're like, you've maybe used him and you're saving, you're screaming at me over the screen that I'm essentially wasting him. Don't worry, I know how good he could be. That's what it's all about, guys. You know, rather than bringing in the super over guys, there's something much more rewarding about building your own workers, I think, from the ground up. I think it also works, it's almost poetic because we're building a whole promotion from the ground up, so doing the same with the workers is pretty good. They almost become attached to your promotion in that way. But after all that glazing on Dr. Funkenstein, he loses by submission with a deep sleep. Sandman Winks, one half of the Past Masters, the newly formed Past Masters. He picks up the win here against the Doc. No help needed. 44 rating, 38 for Doctor, 46 overall. Pretty good, especially coming off the back of that segment, which I'm still pretty shocked at. It got a 71. That is, I mean, he is good, Doctor. His entertainment stats are arguably the best that we have, so it shouldn't really come as a surprise. But yeah, solid work. 46, I'll take it. Good win for Sandman. As similar to the main event, we have a lot of new faces here to digest as we're slowly trying to build up and experiment with our tag ranks. We have the debuting Minnesota Awesome, who beat the Aces of Mayhem in 12 minutes 11 when Clark Smallbone pins Max Mayhem with a double flying elbow. So the Minnesota Awesome are smaller guys. They're more like high flyers. Been together a fair bit of time. Pretty solid, as you can see. Their in-ring ratings here are really good, a 50 and a 44. They also have the Tag Team Specialist bonus, which doesn't stack. So you only actually, pardon me, you only actually need one person of the tag team to have the Tag Team Specialist bonus. Basically, if each person has it, it's like null and void. They basically cancel out each other, which isn't obviously a bad thing, but good to keep in mind because Ace Youngblood also has it. But I'm pretty sure Max doesn't. But I think Smallbone and Longstaff maybe both do, is why I'm mentioning it. But maybe not. I could be wrong. But this has been a long time coming. Of course, Max has been here since pretty much day one. But I mean, quote unquote, I actually didn't. I don't. I think I probably did, but I forgot. But basically, I didn't know he had a tag partner in Ace Youngblood, and it turns out maybe not so much now. Like 10 years ago, they I can't remember what promotion they were both on, but they won like the tag team champion titles a couple times. They're kind of passing now, Max, and they're kind of old, but it's another tag team we can add, and it means we have um more of a reason to use Max in a different way. He doesn't have to be a singles wrestler anymore. One of his good pals in Ace Youngblood has arrived. They do, of course, take up the loss here, as it's a very good debut. We actually got very good, like really, really solid gimmicks here too. Great is like pretty much, it can get apart from legendary. It can't great's like the best. Then of course very good's just one lower. So this is like huge. A 44 and 50 straight off the bat is also really good considering these guys. They have a little bit of pop, but not much. Most of our rosters higher in terms of popularity, but massive. Let's just check the gimmicks real quick. They both have a swagger, the Pretty Boy gimmicks for Clark and Perry, who are also, speaking of a young roster, they are also pretty young. And then of course Native American Ace Youngblood. Sadly, he is not young. He's getting on. But solid match here. 49. I'll take it, especially with three guys debuting out of the four. As we move into this is kind of like something I need to do more. One thing I realized going back over my product from when we played before is heels and faces in my promotion are obviously enlisted, you could say, but they're not really. It's not forced upon. They're loosely enforced, you could say. So having, I don't know. Let me check before I comment anymore and look stupid. Let me just check. Okay, so it does actually. Okay, I was going to say we don't get penalised, but we do. We're essentially, I think it might be minor though, because yeah, we definitely, as much as we enforce faces and heels, it's not strict. So it's probably not going to be something that happens all the time, but just if going forward we see faces against faces or heels versus heels, it's not necessarily a mistake on my part. It's just not something that's going to be done very common. But I thought we'd put on a bit of a nice match up here in terms of in-ring ability that we can possess with a 63 rated segment. Logan Wolfsbane defeats Davis Wayne Newton by submission with a Boston Crab. Solid ratings here, pushing into the 60s from both gents. Huge. This might, which is probably on me, but this is likely going to outshine our main event. But as long as the main event still does pretty good, it won't matter too much. It actually won't. I'll be fine with it because we have someone who's pretty unknown, but as a champion. Off the top of my head, I've totally forgot what promotion it is, but it is up next. Oh, okay. I said mainly just because I instantly looked at the segment rating and it's like almost 10 lower than the co-main event. But anyway, title match, defense number 2 is successful for Papa Swole as he defeats Cheetah Boy in 14:37 with a boom shakalaka. We also put on a safe bet here, which was a success, which definitely helped because I'm now looking at Cheetah Boy's rating, and I think it's probably mainly sort of penalised because of his popularity. But Cheetah Boy, make no mistake, is very good. Of course, Papa Swole's trying to elevate himself in more so the promotion. So he's trying to get fights on with, all the champs. He's inviting everyone from all the promotions to come over and fight for the Great Lakes champion. And he makes defense number 2, which is pretty solid. We only signed Cheetah Boy for one night, but I reckon if we used him a bit more, he would be a pretty good worker. But solid. Let's see how we do. I don't think, thinking about it now, we should, with Architect in Papa Swole, I think we advanced our storyline, but I'm starting to doubt actually if it's going to count. I think I need to keep adding it to the notes, and I keep forgetting like an idiot. So let's see. But then, never mind. Catching you off guard, guys. As we have Papa Swole celebrating his second title defence, the lights kind of dim, and then when the lights turn back on, Papa Swole looks up the ramp, and Architect standing at the top of the ramp, kind of just smiling and waving at him. And Papa Swole looks a little confused, but he's also a little angry. You know, he's like, "What the hell is Architect doing out here?" Of course, Architect wished him good luck earlier in the show, and then Architect kind of points behind him as if to say, you know, look behind you. And in the ring behind Papa Swole, making Papa Swole look small, is the new debut in Sasquatch McGraw. And then he basically beats down Papa Swole, who's of course he's just finished his fight. He's like so tired, worn out. Sasquatch is just fresh, pretty much. And he just picks him up, slams him around, beats him down as the Architect kind of just laughs and looks on. Then they just leave him. They just leave him in a pile of his own misery in the ring as the show ends. 57. We got a bit of a lower rating just because that was just pretty much the beatdown was part 2. 40 rating, 62 for Architect and Papa Swole. They always perform on the segments, which is good. Yeah, so the fans were disappointed about storyline, which is on me. Technically, with a bit of a question mark there on the ending of that show, with Papa winning, of course, but then if he got beat down, and why the hell was Sasquatch with Architect? What the hell's going on? They're essentially like in the storyline now, technically, but yeah, when it comes to dangles, I need to remember and actually do it. Bit annoying, but we get a 56 rating, which is pretty solid. I do need to stop being so careless when it comes to this storyline, since we have started a new storyline to take over from Papa Swole, obviously winning the belt. We ended the Founding Father storyline. Now we have Boom Shakalaka. This is like the second or third time this has happened, so I do need to get a bit of a grip. But the show went, I would say, actually went pretty good. We're going to actually give praise to Smallbone. Where is he? Clark. Yeah, he did really good. And we'll also give it to our new man Sasquatch. Those two really, especially Sasquatch, they really surprised me. I'm trying to do a good job of mixing this up too. Yeah, that was really good. Overall loss 900. Not the worst. Also, when we get rid of Wicked Lester and Zomboy, I'm pretty sure what we are paying for Wicked Lester covers the cost of both Clark and Perry, our new tag team, which is huge. And then what we're paying Sasquatch, which is like $90 a month, is nothing close to what Zombie Boy gets, which is like $240. So when they two go, even though we've technically signed more guys than what's leaving, they more than enough cover the wages as we move up to 20 on our second show of November. Excuse me? Have we just moved up 2 points in 1 month? Let me check that. That is intriguing. We'll check that real quick. It's making me curious. Track 18. 9. Oh yeah, we did. Oh my god, we have. We've moved up 2, which I wouldn't get too excited. It's probably not going to be common, but it's the first time in the whole series that we've moved up 2 points in 1 month. So I will take it, honestly. I also restarted the merchandise too, which I did put it on conservative, so it's going to move really slow for the minute. But I'm just trying to get the ball rolling on it. I usually do rapid, but it's going to be like, yeah, $250 a week, $1,000 a month, which is not, it's not worth it right now. So we'll just keep it on conservative, which isn't the worst for only being level 3 out of 10. We'll move it up soon, but yeah, that's not horrible. We're going to actually move to the end of the week because I thought we could quickly just run over some of the popularity of our guys, especially since we kind of jobbed out Wicked Lester and Zombie Boy, I feel like the likes of Mutant and maybe even Miller Ford and stuff might have gone up. Okay, yep, Cheetah Boy leaves. One thing I don't know though is I do know if someone gets the win against someone who's way more over than them, the most points I've seen from one victory is 5 popularity points someone can go up, which obviously is huge. But I don't know if someone else then beats the same person within the same month, if they could also gain 5. You know? So Zombie Boy, he lost to Mutant earlier in the month, and then later in the month he lost to Hangman. So I don't know if the same effects will come to Hangman too, which does sound stupid because why wouldn't it? But the game sometimes works in mysterious ways, so I'm not actually too sure. But the new addition to the tag team I'm liking, we can move Max out of singles and pair him up. Pretty much he'll be as a unit with Ace Youngblood, and then I believe the Minnesota guys, Clark and Perry, they're also teamed up as a unit, whereas the likes of the Past Masters, they're not. They're individuals, but they'll be teaming up a fair bit. Oh, Ernest has joined Mid Atlantic Wrestling Alliance. Okay, so where are we? Okay, 1st of December. Let's take a little look here at the roster. We don't really care about everyone, but let's take a look. What's Davis on? So he's on 28. I feel like he's gone down, actually. He did lose to Logan, I guess, so that does make sense, but maybe a little harsh. The Doctor, he's gone down to 18. Look at Ernest, he's fucking, wow, he's so good. We still need to use him, just use him. Yeah, I've had him on the roster for like a month or two, and I've still not done anything with him, but soon enough. Okay, Hangman. He's gone up 4. Okay, I'll take it. He's gone up to 32 in the Great Lakes. Then we got Logan, who won. I don't think he's gone. He actually went up by 2 by beating Davis. He was technically just a tiny bit behind Davis on pot, but I didn't notice. I thought he was actually ahead. Not to worry though, 29's pretty huge. Max, I don't imagine he's moved too much. He actually went up. Probably from fighting elsewhere or something. Yeah, he's going up quite quick actually. Everywhere. With his work in other promotions. Miller Ford was another one to get a huge win. He jumps up a lot. He goes up by 5. Which is, yep, again, huge. I'll take it. So he's 22. Mutant's 31. I think he's gone up a lot. Yeah, he's gone up by about 5 too. Which, I mean, this is all good. This is all good stuff. Papa Swole, champ. I don't know if he'll be moving up. Oh, he did. He went up by 2. Okay. He's going up everywhere though. It must be he's working. Obviously, it helps when they're with more than one promotion. He's almost at 40, which is a really good. What's Ernest on? 42. So he's not that far behind him. I'll need to be careful. At this rate, Papa Swole will be the first guy getting the target on his back for getting taken off us. Perry, our new guy, 19, respectable. Sandman Winks got the win. Whoa, what the he's gone up too. That's good. Jesus Christ, I didn't think he'd go up that much though. I mean, I'll take it. He's up to 17. Sasquatch, he got a huge win on his debut. Yep, he jumps up 5 straight away. So this is all good. This is all really good stuff. 36 for the Architect. The Architect wasn't even fighting and he went up. I mean, I know they can go up with promos, but I actually don't think I've personally ever seen it. He was technically a part of both though, wasn't he? Both promos, which is even more. So maybe so. 23 for the Historian. And then we'll take a look at these two to see how much they've fallen from grace. So Wicked peaked at 29, so he's only gone down 4 from getting essentially jobbed out twice. Zombie Boy, I think he was a bit higher. Yeah, he was 39, and now he's 34. So he's gone down 5. He is also leaving. Does it say when though? I don't know when he's leaving. I know it's within like 30 days, but I need to. Maybe I can maybe use him once more. And then I'll probably, whenever Zombie Boy goes, I'll probably just get rid of Wicked Lester, honestly, or maybe I'll use him in December and then we can get rid of him. But these are the teams we have right now. Dragon and Hangman, no experience though. We need to get them fighting. Then we got the three-time IPW champs. Of course, our new guys. Minnesota Awesome. Aces of Mayhem, which are three-time Mid-Atlantic champs, and of course the new guys. Or I say new guys, but newly formed for us, since I had no idea they were even a team. So much, there's always so much I forget or just don't notice. But yeah, we're pretty good show. We come into December, and then we'll see our end of year awards, which are always fun. A nice addition to the game. Things are looking pretty good. Our popularity of our fighters are rising. We're still making money, but we're still in debt, of course, which we should get out of next year, based on the stats with how much we're. I mean, look at this. In June, we were getting 650 on ticket sales, and now we're getting 2,500. Like it's just like a snowball effect. We just gotta let it ride out. Sponsors were a little less. I believe the US economy, the US economy is weak right now. So putting that into effect and considering we're still making money is huge. So all in all, it's going pretty good. We just need to remember and stop being an idiot and fix the our storyline so it's advancing each month. That's fun me though. But overall, things are looking good. Our tag team's slowly starting to get drip fed into the promotion, which will be the next titles we go for. And yeah, all things on the up. I'll see you guys for the next episode. I hope you have a good one.